Hi and welcome to this week's video where we are visiting Aldbourne, which is a village and civil parish not far from Marlborough, Wiltshire, and is very close to Ramsbury and the village of Snap, which became deserted in the early 20th century. I'll put a link to both of these videos in the description below. There are a number of Bronze Age barrows in the area. In 1878, Canon William Greenwell visited the area and excavated some of these Bronze Age barrows. In one of them he found what is now called the Aldbourne cup, which is dated as coming from the early Bronze Age. Both the cup and lid are finely decorated. It seems other cups like this have been found in Wiltshire, but none of them have been found with their lids, making this an important find. The cup and lid was found with the cremation, and it is thought that this cup and lid was used as part of the cremation ceremony. I can't add any photos of the cup and lid, but if you're interested I will add a link to the Wiltshire Museum. Earliest occupation and usage was in the uplands area, and it was not until the Saxon times that the site of the present village was formed. There are a good amount of Mesolithic flints dating from the 6th century BC found in the area, which would seem to indicate a temporary settlements over a period of time. Many Neolithic artefacts have been found to the north of the village. It is thought that the earliest settlement may have been on ground near the stream. Later, a wooden church was built on higher chalkland to the northwest of the stream. The main house or hall in the village is likely to have been on the site of the courthouse, to the north of the church. It is thought that a wooden church may have existed here as early as the 7th or 8th century, and by 1086 the church held 2 hides of land, sufficient for 2 plough teams to provide for the church and priest. The Domesday Book, 1086, gives us the best picture of the community at the end of the Saxon period. The village was held by the king and had enough land for 45 plough teams, although it seems that not fully exploited, as only 36 were being used. Of these, the tenants had around 26. There were 4 mills in the parish, and a certain amount of meadows, possibly outside the parish, pastures and woodlands. Over the whole estate, the population is likely to have been between 670 and 740 people. This included the present village site, then settled to the south and southeast of the church, and what would still probably be the settlements of Upham and Woodsend. When walking around the village, you cannot help but notice that there is a Dalek outside the Crown pub.
The Daleks have come to conquer Aldbourne. When we join your parish council, it will become the Supreme Council of the Daleks. You will then obey us, or you will be exterminated.
Ramsbury, with the Anglo-Saxon stones, is the next village along. I'll put a link to the video in the description below. Now back to why there is a Dalek outside the pub. Did you know that back in 1971 the village of Aldbourne was transformed into Devil's End? The village became the setting for the classic instalment of the cult BBC TV show Doctor Who. John Pertwee was the Time Lord, and the picturesque village was chosen as a location for the spooky 5-part story The Demons. The Doctor travels to Devil's End to investigate the ancient secrets of the Devil's Hump, a mysterious barrow mound, and yes, even some of the Bronze Age barrows were involved in the filming. The Doctor's nemesis, the Master, was also here, masquerading as the local vicar. Using powers of black magic, he hoped to invoke the powers of the alien and demon to take over the world. Although the filming of The Demons took place some time ago, it is still a special place for the hearts of Doctor Who fans. The episode finished with the village church being destroyed, which caused lots of people complaining to the BBC. Thankfully, this was achieved via some rather effective model work. The 12th century church of St Michael. At first glance, the church seems almost too large for the village. It is a lovely building with some considerable size. Most of what we see today dates from the 13th to the 15th century, but there are parts of a Norman church incorporated in the current building. As already mentioned, there was a wooden church here as early as 966 AD, and a church is recorded in the Domesday Book of 1086. The National Monument record goes even further and suggests that Aldbourne was a Saxon minster. We know that there was a stone church existed before 1150, but that church had to be rebuilt following a fire around 1220. In 1460, Richard Goddard financed the West Tower, replacing an earlier central tower. Goddard also had the roof raised and added the porch and chapels. By the following century, a small school was established in a chamber over the south porch. The nave and chancel make up the earliest part of the building, both erected in the 13th century, when the earlier Norman church appears to have been almost completely rebuilt. In the 1860s, the church was restored by William Butterfield, one of the most prominent architects of the Victorian Gothic era. Between 1988 and 1990, further redecoration was done. The 18th century fire engines are kept here for safekeeping. Aldbourne, Wiltshire is not just a place on the map, it is a truly beautiful place to walk around and explore. So much history to the area and still more modern history to it that I have not added into the video. And of course not forgetting the connection to Doctor Who. But there is also a community that weaves together the stories of generations past and present. As we leave this beautiful village, remember that every town or village, no matter how small, has its own magic. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Before I go, I would like to say a really big thank you to the viewers and subscribers of the channel, to the Patreons and to those who have bought me coffee. This channel wouldn't be the same without you. Your support has made it all worthwhile and I'm grateful beyond words. So if you're new here, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Also click that notification bell so you'll never miss an update. Until the next time, keep questioning, keep learning, keep embracing the stories that shape us, and most importantly, stay safe.